Can I recommend 2 books that I think you should read before the year is out? As we are approaching the end of the year, I know it's a time when a lot of people are looking for ways to improve their self-development, invest in themselves, trying to realign basically themselves back to their paths and their purpose in order to start the year strong. I've been reading 2 books that have been helping me, and I just wanted to share this with my community here on YouTube. This is The Third Perspective by Brooke. This book has been helping me in multiple ways. The Third Perspective is a book that really challenges you to look at things alternatively. Brooke is a writer and mindset coach who speaks a lot around the topics of personal responsibility and mental clarity. I was gifted this book after I had expressed that I've been dealing with some issues around self-sabotage, and it is one of the topics that is addressed in the book. But apart from the self-sabotage, I've learned so many other things whilst reading it. I have always considered myself to be a very open-minded individual, willing and often embracing conversations that allow me to see things from an alternate perspective, which is basically what this book addresses. And I've loved learning why people do certain things or why people are the way they are. There is often, usually, a valid reason as to why people, behave in particular ways. This book helped me realize that there's further layers than just being open-minded. There's further layers than just saying, oh, I'm willing to have these conversations. It's actually about how do you embrace hearing things that are not necessarily your opinion or they're not necessarily what you believe in. And it just drives home the fact that we can all coexist in the same place, even with alternate perspectives, even with differing views, or even with conflicting views. There are still ways that we can engage in meaningful conversation with ourselves, with our family, with friends, even in the workspace. There are ways that we can create harmony even when our views are conflicting. And I really enjoy just the depth in which Africa takes us with this book. One of the main themes in the book that I really enjoyed is to embrace curiosity over certainty. Things don't always have to be factual. With a focus on curiosity, Africa encourages us to let go of our own perspectives and our own beliefs that validate us and our stories. And in that, we are able to then embrace alternate perspectives, other views, other systems that may actually help us and transform the way we think. You are encouraged within the book to be curious, to ask the right questions as to why situations are the way they are, or why things transpire in particular ways, or what has influenced someone's particular decision. I really love the variety that the book brings and encourages you, okay, maybe this isn't necessarily a fact, but question it. Ask the right questions. She emphasizes a lot on empathy and self-awareness. She talks about setting boundaries, recognizing emotional triggers, and taking full responsibility for the way we react. And I love the fact that she mentions this specifically in her chapters about social media and cancel culture. That one is a big one because I feel as though when the world is going through certain things, everybody has an opinion, everybody wants to share. Sometimes that's done out of anger, sometimes that's done out of disappointment. But what I love is how she encourages us to foster meaningful conversations, both off and online, that again creates that harmony where nobody is right or wrong, but there are nuances to the way you have arrived at your thinking or your decision because of XYZ. This book isn't a quick breeze. I would say it's a book that you have to take your time with and even revisit when you require. While it has beautiful models that you can learn from and theories and real life examples, it also includes activities for you to engage in and really sit down with self and ask yourself questions that maybe other people aren't bold enough to ask you. It really helps you realize, even within yourself, why you do certain things the way you do, why you are the way you are, and how you have developed certain thinking patterns. And then provides solutions, then provides systems and activities that, like I said, that you can engage in to help you understand the third perspective. The way of integrity. So I'm actually not completely finished with this book yet, still reading through it, and it is blessing me, okay? It is really helping me in that as we go into the new year, I know that there are going to be certain goals and challenges that lay ahead. There are also going to be obstacles, which is one of the things that is, very much addressed in this book. The way of integrity is all about finding clarity, peace, and discovering the truest version of yourself. As someone who is a big believer in designing the type of life you would like to live, as opposed to the life pattern being laid out for you and you just fall into it, this book is so key for me. This book is a reminder that I'm not crazy in some of the ways that I think, but it also encourages me to, again, go back to my motives, go back to my intentions, and question things. It offers exercises and tools that you can engage in to actually arrive at decisions that can basically set you up for motion. And I'm really big on motion. As someone who's been stuck before multiple times, I need things that encourage me to move. I need things that encourage me to act. And this book isn't just like a self-help book that, gives you a couple of encouraging words or some motivational speech. It actually gives you the practical steps that you can engage in to see motion. Martha Beck is a life coach and sociologist who, in this book, her writing is basically inspired by a poet and philosopher called Dante Alighieri from way back. I mean, we're talking 1300s, I believe. So he was a philosopher who wrote the Divine Comedy, and in that piece of work, it's his journey from basically hell into paradise, difficulty into ease and peace. So with that inspiration, Martha speaks about how everything has a process, and she speaks about how you can reclaim your sense of integrity, which doesn't only mean honesty or living in your truth. It's about breaking the layers of self-doubt or constantly people-pleasing and adjusting to make yourself conform to somebody else's reality. And I love that she takes the detail of you being the focus and you being the priority and breaking down how you can get from, again, hell to paradise. Her writing style and tone is super compassionate, so it almost feels like you have a friend that is encouraging you or journeying alongside you on this path, this way to integrity. And she's very transparent. She also makes many references to her own personal life, in her work and family, and I guess it just helps, those references, those little insights and peaks, offers relatability that you can resonate with. We live in a world where information is available to us in less than 4 seconds, and that is a blessing, but sometimes it can also be a curse because we're constantly being bombarded by different opinions, opposing views, information, false information, things that need to be validated, things that need to be verified, and sometimes it just gets a bit noisy, sometimes it just gets a bit noisy in our heads. So with this book, the book helps you to be very grounded, to be able to listen to the voice that you choose to listen to and not multiple voices. It helps you know that when you are making decisions, it's not your voice that has been diluted with multiple influences. It's your voice, it's your truth. It allows you to be grounded and certain in the things that you are pursuing, in the things that you are saying. I really enjoy how she embraces the concept of less is more, and you don't need multiple things. You don't need multiple things to influence your decision, whether that's friends, whether that's books, whether that's videos, whether that's just the overconsumption of everything else that is external to you. There is a lot that you need to find, but it's on the inside of you if you just take the time to journey with that process. So I love that, and I've randomly got that song in my silence the noise in my mind, Lord, or silence the noise in my heart, Lord. Anyway, I really enjoy how this book encourages you to turn down the noise of all of the external voices, and it allows the voice within to be amplified and to be celebrated and to be embraced and to be encouraged. As a result of this, what now comes is a lighter heart and a clearer sense of direction. And with that groundedness, you're able to walk. One of the great things as well is you're not only able to move, but you're able to move with speed because you now have that direction that you were sort of just dilly-dallying about before. You weren't able to lock in, you weren't able to focus and concentrate. I think it's a very transformative read if you are looking for just having that stability before you hit the next year. This is a book that I would highly recommend everyone to read, just to give you that sense of direction as you approach an entire new 365 days. I'm reading this already in 2024, which means I'm already beginning to implement the systems, the tools and exercises that are shared in these books. Don't ever feel as though you need to wait for a new year in order to make change. You can make that change now. If you begin to read now, the influences of these books would already begin to condition your mindset, your thinking patterns, and even the language in which you speak. So I would say definitely get into these books as soon as you can and ease your way into the exercises. Take your time, don't breeze through it. I really do pray that we all have a beautiful year ahead. So there we have it. I know it's just 2 books, but I'm really big on avoiding overconsumption, and I thought long and hard about, okay, what kind of books would be great for us as we move forward into a new year. So whether it is, the ability to see things from an alternative perspective, or pursuing a pathway to integrity and purpose, I believe that these books are transformative, and I think they have the power to set you up for one of your best years yet. I am actually a bookworm, so I do hope to share more of the books that I've been enjoying or the future books that I'm going to be reading. Feel free to let me know in the comments if you have any books currently helping you as you approach the new year. I would love to see. Until next time, it is love and light. Bye!